All right, we're now on round three of this tournament. I'm off against I believe it's a Miss Valley deck, a Miss Valley Falcon deck. Some of you guys may call it Falcon Punch, but it also plays some of the dark engines as well. So I think I win the die roll here. So because I see the 6 cards in my hand, so I think I go first. So I think I go into Tour Guide. Yep, I summon the Tour Guide and I activate the effect to go into Sangan. I have the option here to pass. The reason why I considered passing here was because I want to be able to resolve the Sangan effect to go into a search. But this is pretty weak to a Thunder King, obviously, as everyone is main decking it. Even if he does have the Thunder King, I do have the D draw to draw out of this situation to get into a card that can deal with Thunder King. So he does see the Thunder King and he slimes it down and attacks over my Sangan. So I get no search here, but at least I didn't really lose a card because all I really lost was a Sangan that was a free +1. So here I have a Maxi in my hand, a Dark Hole. I could use a Dark Hole, but that feels pretty bad because that's a 2-for-1. So I'm going to go into the D-Draw and discard the Diamond Dude here. So I do have the Dark Grepher in my hand, but the Dark Grepher is not going to be able to do much here. The Foolish Burial can dump a Gloat Bulb, or a Spore, or a Dandelion, or even a Grepher, or even a Malicious. So I contemplate doing that too as well. Definitely Foolish has to do something here. Instead, I'm going to go for the defensive play where I just shift my Tour Guide defense mode and then set my warning. So this play is pretty good because if he does summon another monster, I can warning it. If he summons a Caius, I can warning that too as well. I'm not entirely sure what I'm playing against at this moment in time. So he takes his turn now, and he's going to attack over the Tour Guide, getting him a +1. And so I'm trying to see a card. And luckily, I draw into a Malicious here. So this means I can Dark Hole the field, or I can summon the Grepher, discard the Malicious, and dump the Plague. That is a play I can do here. And I think I go for the Dark Hole play first because this way I can just get rid of the Thunder King here. So if I had done the play where I Dark Hole the last turn, and I just got rid of the Thunder King Ryo, the Grepher would not have a discard fodder for me to discard the Malicious. So it was good that I waited. Because let's say he summoned another monster the next turn, and I didn't warning that monster, I can Dark Hole the field and then summon my Grepher. So I was waiting for the Dark Hole to have value as opposed to just getting a neg 1. In this case, it was a 1-for-1, but at least if I had waited a turn and he summons a monster, I can Dark Hole that monster. So I'm going to use the effect of Dark Grepher, discard the Malicious, and then dump the Plague. Top deck a card for level 8 Synchro. So here, I should have made a Stardust. There was no reason for me to make a Scrap Dragon here because although I'm doing more damage with Scrap Dragon, it's only 300 more. And the warning could have stopped the monster that runs over the Stardust. And then we have the little lock where Stardust can protect against MST. That's the more preferable play. But in my mind, I was all like, oh, well, I want to go for damage. And that's actually incorrect because even if he does drop a Gores here, I do have a warning for the Gores. And even after the Gores comes down with the warning, I do have a Veiler on my Maxi to deal with the further monster. So he doesn't drop the Gores here. So that was another reason why I brought out Scrap Dragon. And this Dark Hole punishes me here because now he's able to deal with 2 of my monsters with only 1 card. So he summons Card Trooper here, mills 3, and I don't know what he's still on. I do see a Zephyros in his graveyard. So I kind of make the assumption that he's playing like a Value Turbo deck with Phoenix Chain in the main deck. So I did not make the deduction that he was playing Miss Valley Falcon Punch deck. So he attacks directly for 19 here. I take the 19, and he's going to set 2 back row. Pretty surprising to me because he hasn't been setting cards at all. So these 2 back rows either tell me that it's a spell card, spell cards that he set, or he was able to draw into a Solemn Judgment. But even then, even if he did draw into a Solemn Judgment, it makes it so that holding the other traps doesn't feel correct to me because then he has to play. Yeah, he basically has to preserve the trap card, but that's just. I feel like that's just incorrect then. So I'm reading Warning or a bunch of spells. So I dump the Dandelion here. I have the option here to summon the Veiler here to Synchro Summon a form, but I choose not to go for that route. So you activate this card trooper here, and then I see Cat Sith on there. So I'm like, okay, so he's playing Vayu Cat Sith or something, or he's just playing Cat Sith with Zephyros in the main deck. So he didn't really mill anything that was really crucial to information. So he summons the Dark Arm here, and I warning the Dark Arm. So if he wants to attack, he's gonna attack with the Falcon and the Card Trooper, taking out my 2 monsters. So it's looking pretty bad for me here. The best play I can do here is normal summon the Veiler, and then activate the Mind Control to take the Falcon. And then I go into a Catastor, I would say. So he's got a Torrential here. So the Torrential here, he loses 2 cards, and I lose my 2 cards. So it's an even trade here. So he summons another Falcon the next turn and attacks me for 2,000. I'm on top decking mode, unfortunately. I draw into a Torrential and I pass. Set it. He summons a Card Trooper. He calls priority mill 3 first, and then I Torrential, and he draws a card. So this was a 1-for-1 Torrential. I draw for turn, and I think I contemplate whether I want to blind Allure. He summons a Sangan, attacks me for 1,000, flips the limit reverse. I chain the Maxi, and then I'm like, okay, well, he only has Armory Arm as a level 4 access. No, he has Fable Unicorn, so that actually clears me here. So I scooped game 1, even though he had lethal anyways. We're gonna go into games 2. I still don't know what he's playing. My guess is that because he plays the Falcon in his deck, and also Dark Monster, he plays like Cymorg. So I keep that in my mind. So I think I side deck a DD Crow, I think. For sure I side the Black Horn of Heaven because I did see the Dark Arm Dragon in the event that he wants to slam that card down again. He does have boss monsters by the looks of it. So I'm siding in the counter traps. I don't know what I'll side out here. I think I would take out a... What did I take out? It's really hard to side deck with this deck because it has a really large engine package. So I take out a... I don't know what I side out. I took out Torrential. Yeah, I think I took out Torrential because of the Card Trooper. So I saw the Card Trooper and I was like, all right, well, the Torrential is definitely coming out. So yeah, I just take out the Black Horn of Heaven and a spell card. All right. I don't know if I should have side decked the DD Crow because the DD Crow could have had application against limit reverse, and since I saw the Falcon, it's likely he's trying to play the Call the Haunted loop where he flips over the Call the Haunted, gets Sangan, and then summon the Mist Valley Falcon to add more cards to his hand, and then add the Call the Haunted back to his hand or limit reverse. So I think I should have sided the DD Crow. Although I feel like that was a neg one. That would be a neg 1 if that were to happen. Because if I DD Crow the monster, then the Call of the Haunted or the limit reverse still stays. And then the DD Crow just gets, or the Call of the Haunted gets bounced back to his hand. So he goes Tour Guide, and then he goes into Leviathan Dragon. I let the Tour Guide effect go through because I thought, for some reason, I thought that it would make more sense to warning the XCs because that would shut them off of access of the XCs. And most deck only plays one. Most deck only plays one of the Leviathan Dragon, so I have to go for that line of play. Although it feels incorrect now because the Kushano now in the graveyard, he can actually use to cast it for free here to pop a card. So I use the Diamond Dude effect, and then I reveal the top. It was a Dandelion. I missed, and now he summons a Zephyros, beats over the Diamond Dude. I try to Mirror Force here so that I can get a potential +1 off the Diamond Dude, as I did not see a spell yet. So pretty lucky for me. I missed 2 times with Diamond Dude, but that's fine. That is the RNG aspect of this deck, to be able to try to mill a spell. So I have the option here to attack directly, but first I wanted to see if I can have lethal with the Monster Reborn, and with 4,800 life points, that is actually possible. So if he does try to, if he drops Gores here, I do have a Trishula play, where I can just synchro away the Zephyros or the Diamond Dude, with the Diamond Dude to Trish away the Gores. So I wasn't too afraid of the Gores. I activate the Maxi before the attack declaration, and then I see if I could bait out the Gores and draw 2 cards, I believe. Yeah, draw 2 cards off the Gores. So now we're going to game 3 here. I think I keep everything the same. I don't think I keep anything. I take anything out. So it's going to be pretty dicey here, not knowing what my opponent is trying to side deck here in this process. I look at my side deck again. I still see that Crow, but then I decide to side in the Snowmaners because I realized that in that deck, they main deck the Thunder King Ryo. So Thunder King Ryo feels like a really good card against my deck, so I'm going to try to find room for the Snowmaner. So I take out the Diamond Dude and the Allure Darkness here. So by taking out the Allure Darkness and the Diamond Dude, I won't have to worry about RNGing this scenario. It looks like he tries to side in more cards in games 3, so probably cards that are good for going first. So I'm well aware of that. So hopefully he doesn't draw too well in terms of summoning Thunder King and setting 4 or something. That would feel pretty bad. But if I do draw the Snowman Eater, if he does set 4 and summon Thunder King Ryo, I will at least have the Snowman Eater to deal with the Thunder King Ryo. Because most trap cards don't really deal with the flip effect monsters. All right, game 3. All right, so I draw into a Malicious and I draw a Greffer, along with the reinforcement of the army. So hopefully he doesn't draw into a Thunder King Ryo here. Otherwise, the Rhoda is going to be pretty dead, and the Greffer is going to be a -1 if I want to do any plays. Even a -2, I would say. But it's a pretty good hand going first. Unfortunately, he does not good for me. He doesn't see the Thunder King Ryo, and he does do the Dust Shoot play here. So this is a pretty hard hand to Dust Shoot because I do have the reinforcement of the army. If he puts back the Greffer, I could just search for it. But he doesn't realize that the Rhoda here can search for the Stratos, which gets beamed back the Malicious if its summon goes through. So the Stratos actually just dodged the Dust Shoot here. Even though he has hand knowledge, I am at a +1 here, so it's not too bad. So I attack directly for 1800 and I set 2. Because he did set 2, I don't think that set card is a Pro Storm. And even if it is, I can just chain the Scapegoats. He's going to summon the Tour Guide here. I'm going to warning directly. The reason why I'm warning here because since I saw the Kushano in his deck, it makes it so that I want a warning here so he doesn't get the Kushano in the graveyard. Plus, it's a light monster. So he dualities here. I think he gets the Falcon, if I'm not mistaken. What did he get? Nope, he just passes here. I draw into a Globe Bulb, so I have the option here to summon the Greffer, but that plays pretty hard into Torrential. He could be holding the Torrential, but I make the read to just try to push for the game here. So he Phoenix Chains here. Now I can XCs here into a Utopia because that does more damage, and I can do 2500 damage. So I don't really have a way to out the next Tour Guide if he summons it, and he does have it. So I just let him have it. There is a play where if go into Leviathan Dragon, if he crashes, I might let that go through because I don't really mind losing the Utopia here. But I think he goes into a Chaos Monster. And he summons a BLS here. So he's going to banish the Utopia, and then he gets attack directly for 25. I contemplate whether I want to use the Scapegoat, and I think I do. Even if I lose a Goat token, I don't really mind it because I do have Glow Bulb in my hand. I can Synchro Summon into a Catastor. Draw into Dark Arm. So the trick here is to try to get 3 Darks in the graveyard. I know I have a Glare, but I feel like I have a Greffer in my graveyard along with the Malicious. Did I make a Synchro play? No, I have a Diamond Dude. I don't have a Malicious. So I have a Diamond Dude and I have a Diamond Dude and I have a Greffer in the graveyard. So I need one more Dark to get to the Dark Arm. So it looks like I did have the Malicious after all. So that means I have a Diamond Dude, a Malicious. So if I Synchro Summon into a Trish here, that feels pretty good. Yeah. You know, I don't think I have Greffer, now that I think about it. So I contemplate whether I want to go into Dark End here. With Dark Arm with priority, it doesn't feel too good. But the Dark End is a dark monster. So if I can get the Dark End in the graveyard, that's kind of ideal. I did contemplate going to Battle Phase, but I don't know if I want to like risk attacking. So I go straight into, I just use the priority on the Dark End here to send the BLS here. I do have the option here to crash, but crashing doesn't feel too good because I lose life points doing this, and I will lose life point anyways. But in this scenario, that makes it so that if he draws into a trap card, I'm fine with that. My Dark Arm being warning afterwards, and in this case, maybe I should have crashed the Dark End because now with the Falcon, he can just bounce back to Phoenix Chain, and then yeah. So I think it was a misplay after all. So I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I should have definitely deal with it. So lucky for me, I did draw the MST, and I know he set the Phoenix Chain. So I didn't get punished for not summoning the Dark Arm and crashing instead of doing this. So yeah, definitely a misplay. Don't do the play where I just left the Dark End there. Definitely should have crashed. So now I have the gold ball coming in. I do have the option here to go into level 8 Synchro, even a Trishula too. But instead I'm going to go into the armory arm here, equip the armory arm to the dark end, the dark arm, sorry, and then that should be lethal. So that's 3,800. He's going to take 18, and then he's going to take 2,000. That's 38. So yeah, this plays around the battle fader, and as well as the Tragodia, I would say. No, not Tragodia. This just plays around battle fader if he does play it. So yeah, so I win the game here through a stroke of luck by drawing the MST. But MST is at 3 in this format, so it makes sense that I would see it off the top of my deck. But still unlikely. So let's go into. So that's pretty much the round 3. We're gonna go into round 4 of this tournament on another video.